Okay, I know I've complained with every single pick, but this is my line. I genuinely hate this now because this top five, the other two are extremely good players, but I quickly was like, they're bottom two. I cannot pick between these five. I will try my best, but I would literally go like right neck and neck with each other. I think these are really exceptional talents, and with my placements, I'm going to find excuses to put them there, which I think you'll see with my next one. You ask most people, I think they would go either Ishe Samuel Smith or Tyreek George. I'm going to go for Kiano Dyer, and it pains me so much to say that because he is potentially my like poster boy when I say, look at Cobham, this guy, like he's the definition. And this is a funny story. I took my girlfriend to an academy game. Okay, I managed to drag her all the way to an academy game at Kingsmeadow to watch Chelsea versus Fulham. We lost 4-0 in the pouring rain. But the one player that I was like, watch out for him, and she told me after the game how good he was Kiano Dyer. Okay, so he shouldn't be here, but I'm putting him here because it's easier to put him here because there's an easy explanation for why he should be there, and it's his build. Firstly, let's talk about his positives. Insane talent. Absolutely insane. His technical ability is a joke. He can receive the ball at literally every single angle, fizz it into him, he'll receive it. He scans so well. His balance is a joke. He's so nimble. He'll get the ball and he'll spin around a player like he's Eden Hazard. Such a low center of gravity. Very good passer as well. Talk about disguised passes. He has it as well. Maybe not so much the Travella, but he has these like no look passes, quick jinks inside that he does. Another thing, he gets himself around. He impacts the game in all phases. I posted a clip on my Twitter around a week and a half ago. I think it was Chelsea's last under 21s game. I forgot who it was against, but I posted like a 1 minute and 50-second clip, which I usually don't do. I usually just post the goals because people on Twitter don't care that much. But I posted it because you saw Kiano Dyer affecting the game from back to front. He picked up the ball from the defensive line. He brought it all the way up. He played a disguised pass. He got into the box. He recovered the ball and he went again. He's so clever. The reason why I have him here, and I'm going to contradict myself when I say it, is because he's tiny. People kind of overdo how small he is height wise. He's not actually that small height wise. Like, if I had to guess, he'd be like 175 centimeters. It's not impossible to break through into the men's game with that. But not just that, he's extremely slender. He's extremely bony. He's very lanky. And this aids his game. We talked about putting on muscle mass. It's what makes him so nimble. But you just wonder when he comes into the senior game, is he just going to get bullied? And before I pass it on, I'm going to contradict myself here because I will listen to every argument that says he won't, because this guy has played one age group up, two age groups up, his whole career. I mean, the first time I knew Kiano Dyer, Chelsea Youth is my main account for Chelsea News. If you want to follow Cobham, follow Chelsea Youth. He gives you all the updates. Kiano Dyer made his under 18s debut 2 years in advance. At the end of the season, I think it was the 21-22 season, he came off the bench and he scored a goal. That's when I first heard about him. He then played the full under 18 season as an under 16, playing a year up. And then last season, he played the full under 21 season as a first year scholar. Okay. That is absolutely unbelievable. That is even like a month or two earlier than Lewis Hall. Always played up. He's always matched up against people bigger than him. And the last piece of evidence is very recent, is in the EFL Trophy. If people don't know what the EFL Trophy is, it's academy teams playing against League One and League Two opposition. It's a very good competition to see how they fare physically. And we played Bromley recently. Funnily enough, I didn't watch the game because it was at the same time as a Chelsea men's game, so I watched the Chelsea game. But I listened to a Bromley fans match report. I listened to Chelsea Youth match report, and I listened to the Bromley manager as well, talking about the Chelsea team. And apparently he was the best player on the pitch. He was absolutely the best player on the pitch. And that is against actual men. So Kiano Dyer has done everything to show to everyone that he will not have a problem and that he has his whole career been adjusting to people being twice the size of him. But unfortunately, I need an excuse in this list. And he's the easiest one to say, I can see why it wouldn't quite work in the men's game. So there's my monologue over.
Yeah, so for me, Kiano is a definition of a roaming playmaker. So a guy who orchestrates the play not only with his passing, but also with his ball carries. He's a fantastic ball carrier, technically brilliant, close ball control, superb. I would say he's one of these guys that when you watch a game, and even if he has a bad game, he has this one touch and one ball carry that you say, wow, who on earth is this guy? I want to know who this guy is, and I go to Google and check him out. So, brilliant player. I would say he would make my top three still, but yeah, really lightweight player. I would compare him to guys like with Vitinha, Marco Verratti, Frankie de Jong. And I would say what could do him good is the transfer to a Bundesliga club, for example, or even Eredivisie club. So not so much physical leagues, but yeah, I'm a football romantic, guys. So I really love these technical geniuses, and for me, Piano, he's a pure joy to watch.
I'm totally with both of you. Roaming playmaker 100%. When I initially watched him, I also said Vitinha right away. But just from hearing from Felix also, I think for me, even kind of a career path like Angel Gomez is where I really see him bursting into light. I think he's not someone who necessarily will be able to immediately adapt to English football, but going to a foreign league, going to Lille initially in Angel Gomez's case, and then going out on loan to Boa Vista in Portugal is precisely the moves that would really do a player like him well. Going into really technical leagues where there's a lot of possession based football, that's something where I can see him really, really developing best, getting first team minutes under his belt, and then kind of dispelling the myth almost that he isn't robust enough for physical senior football, and then returning to English football.
There is such an interesting debate, and like I want to like test my knowledge by seeing in a couple of years where he is. But like I was talking to Alex, I keep mentioning him, sorry, but I was talking to him about Kiano Dyer, and he was like, "There's no reason why you shouldn't make it. Look at Billy Gilmore," and we've spoken about Billy Gilmore today. I think Billy Gilmore could have done more, but you can't pretend like he hasn't made it. He's played at really, really top clubs, and Kiano Dyer is very similar in terms of midfielder coming in with a much lighter build, and Billy Gilmore did it. But then you have players like Lewis Bate and Charlie Webster, who are two players that were recently in the academy. Not the exact same type of players. And I'd say Charlie Webster, especially, is more physically robust than Kiano Dyer. He's small, but he's quite stocky. Lewis Bate is playing for Stockport in League One. I won't talk about him too much. He gets disrespected quite a lot by Chelsea fans because they were very sad that he left along with Tino Livramento, and I was very sad too. And then they say, well, he's playing for Stockport. Stockport is in League One as a 20-year-old is still impressive, and he's making his way up. And can I just say, he got named the captain a month after joining, okay, as a 20-year-old, which is ridiculous. And Charlie Webster went on loan to Heerenveen last season in the Dutch division, did what you just suggested, going to a slightly lower league, more technical, showcase yourself, and it didn't work out. He hardly played, and now he's at Burton Albion in League One, actually under our ex under 21s manager who managed Charlie. You can look at those players and say, Billy Gilmore showed it could work, the other two showed it couldn't. So there's two ways that a career can go, even with the same build. It's always hard to project. The second, to give players time. I think even the players you can come up with examples that aren't going to work, environment is really, really important. And you ask any Leeds fan about Lewis Bate, they will say that he got really mistreated and he should have been used more. And sometimes it happens.
There is no one way to the top. There are many ways to the top. Like I really loved what Adam said about Angel Gomez. It was a way around to the top, but he's still a senior English international. We can't all be like Lamine Yamal, so wonder kid since you are 16 and then going to the top. I really hope that Kiano will take the way around like Angel Gomez, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him even in the senior national team in a few years. But as I said, I think he should leave England. It would be a good step to leave England and go, yeah, France, Netherlands, or Bundesliga.
Yeah, and I think this whole debate about different routes to the top is such a pertinent topic in English football specifically, because I think until 10 years ago it was if you're not right away good enough for the Premier League, then you go to the Championship, then you go to League One, then you go to League Two. But now there's so many different exit doors and different avenues that are also open to English footballers because others have paved the way that this is becoming more of a reality, and it's such a good thing because you're losing way fewer players out of the game. I mean, let's look at Angel Gomez again. I don't want to harp on it too long, but 10 years ago, that player would never be anywhere near the English national team right now. He would be playing championship football because he wouldn't have gotten a route into the Premier League and would have had to work his way up probably from a club like Luton Town or a club like Burton Albion, one of these small clubs in the lower regions of English football. And there, the physicality would have immediately eaten him alive. But going for a different pathway is kind of what saved his career, I think, and is now seeing him prove everyone wrong that he is good enough for top level football.